In our Intro to Change Management video, we gave you a conceptual, high-level overview of change. Now, we need to help you with the how. Let's imagine you were baking a cake. Would you take a chance, chuck all the ingredients in, stick it in the oven and hope for the best? Chances are you'd weigh out each ingredient first and then follow a method. With the ABCDE Way, we've made project and change management a piece of cake. It's not quite child's play, but we're very confident that this is something anyone can use. We'll show you how to turn the concept of change management into practical, day-to-day successful delivery. Let me tell you a little bit about what I've learned as a project manager over the years. I've been really fortunate to work with some big organisations and run some very large projects with big budgets and great people working for me. Those projects have generally been huge multi-million-pound affairs with lots of people running around doing lots of things with very structured methodologies to make sure that the change happens very safely. When you're spending millions and millions of pounds on a change, you can't really risk it going wrong. You've got to try and give yourself the assurance that it's going to go right. But with that comes some very bloated frameworks which require loads of people to run them and check them, double check them and triple check them. Whatever route you go down, you may have heard some terminology like waterfall or agile. Those methodologies generally require people and practitioners in change who are very experienced and therefore very costly and require lots of people to wrap around that change to make it happen. That can make it seem unattainable or unachievable for smaller projects, businesses or individuals. And by smaller businesses, I don't mean tiny little one-man band micro-businesses. I mean organisations where it's not viable to have an army of folk doing loads and loads of change. And that's why we developed the ABCDE Way. This is the starting block, and over the coming videos we'll show you our tools and ways of helping you actually deliver change yourself using the ABCDE Way. We tried to think it's something catchier, but we thought ABCDE was the simplest way to boil it down to this very simple thing. It's effectively a paint-by-numbers methodology which you can understand and follow for yourself. Most importantly, it's a method that will result in a higher rate of successful delivery. It will need some structure and some practice, but it isn't cumbersome or a very detailed change methodology. The ABCDE Way is broken down into 5 key stages. Firstly, aim. This is where we set out our overall objectives and aim for the project that we're trying to achieve. In aim, we do 3 things. We come up with a hypothesis. This is a structured way of coming up with an idea, forming that idea and effectively capturing your why. We then workshop that through and we figure out our plan, our risks and our issues. And then we summarise everything in one document. Having done all that, we then put it in front of our stakeholders to approve it. The first stage of build is create. That's where we do the do and build the thing. Whilst that's going on, we manage that build. We do the progress reporting to make sure that we're on track and we effectively mitigate our risks and our issues, and we also control. We manage any changes that come in from left field. Then again, when we get to the end of the build stage, we approve what we've built and we make sure we're happy with it. Then we've got the comms phase. That's where we go over some of the stuff around critical success factors, training and communications, and then how we market both internally and externally. Comms breaks down into criteria, critical success factors and training, how we educate everyone on the change, and then the marketing. That's where we then implement the change into the big wide world and measure it. Crucially, we look after it while it's still young and requires some tweaking. In Deploy, we have the 3 sub-stages: implement, measure, and warranty. Implement is about effectively putting it out there, either in phases or all at once. In measure, we check on it to make sure it's successful. In warranty, any new project is going to need some looking after while it's still in its embryonic stages to make sure that it doesn't fall over and we continue to extract the value from it. And finally, we embed it. Having gone through all those previous stages, we ensure that it's thoroughly documented. It's handed over into the people that are going to run this thing now, and that crucially, the benefits are measured. Through the embed stage, we use document to write down everything and update the business documentation and records. This makes sure that everybody's aware this is how we do business now. Then we do a thorough handover to those people that are going to run it on a day-to-day basis. We make sure that they know it inside and out and they've adopted it into their business as usual processes. Finally, benefit. If I said we were going to deliver £1 million worth of value by delivering this project, is that what we did? Did we get it right? What lessons can we learn from it? And then we're done. At the end of each stage, we also have an approval point where we check in with our sponsor to make sure they're happy and everything's on track. Only when you've been through all 5 steps is the change done properly.